Hey guys, Mad Theories here. Now, today I wanted to give you Sasuke Uchiha. Now, I know there's like a lot of people out there who have like their own opinions on what if Sasuke never left the village, what if Sasuke stayed in the village and everything would have been fine, or if Sasuke would have stayed in the village when pain would have showed up. But no, we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about what if Sasuke beat Naruto at the end, like at the very final, the very last and final battle. Like, what if Sasuke would have actually won? Because it's like, I had like me and my brother, we was like talking like years ago about like crazy ass theories. Like, okay, like what if like Naruto loses and everybody's at Naruto's grave and whatnot, and everyone's like, feeling sad and whatnot. But nah, here's the new revamped theory of that theory that we was thinking about crazy ass long time ago. But what if Sasuke defeated Naruto and he was like, okay, I'm gonna still go out to being like Hokage and trying to like rule the world? Because what Sasuke basically wanted to do was he wanted to like bring the world together in peace, but he wanted to do it from within the shadows. So I was like, okay, it was actually sick how he was telling like Naruto like how he wanted to like become Hokage and how he wanted to do certain things. So I was like, well, I see Sasuke trying to become Hokage. I see him as almost as like Yagami trying to like take over the world. So I was like, he probably would have done it like that, where it would have been like, okay, how like Yagami, he was just basically killing off anybody who got in his way, he basically would have killed them off. And how I see Sasuke trying to like bring the world together in peace, because after everything, like he would have been the most hatedest man, because one, y'all both technically saved the ninja world from Kagaya and Madara. Like, you basically helped out in the war, but then you killed off your other war buddy just because you want to like bring the world together in peace, but you wanted to do it in your own way. So if he would have killed Naruto, everybody in the Leaf Village except Sakura would have wanted him dead, and none of them would have acknowledged him as Hokage. So my theory is that I felt like he probably wouldn't have killed everybody in the village, but they probably would have gave him like a pass. Like, okay, you get a pass because you helped out in the war. So they probably would have been like, okay, you kill Naruto, who also helped out in the war. So it would have kind of made things kind of like complicated, where he probably wouldn't have became like Hokage, but he would have became like how he said it, how he wanted to do, where he wanted to like bring the world together, but towards in the shadows. So he probably would have never been Hokage. Like Kakashi probably would have been Hokage, or maybe Rock Lee. Like either Kakashi or Rock Lee probably would have Kakashi probably would have just still stayed as being Hokage, because it's like, he left, and then later on in the years, that's when Naruto became Hokage. But if Naruto would have died, then Kakashi would have stayed Hokage, and Sasuke would have just been trying to like bring the world together in peace, but he would have done it in the shadows. So that means anybody who would try to commit any sort of act or ruling or against him or whatever, obviously he would have killed them. Like anybody who would have done wrong or whatever, he would have killed them and stuff. So that way that the world could be at peace and there wouldn't be like any sort of war or any confliction. But the only war and confliction would have been was with the Leaf Village, which would have kind of like spiraled out of control, because they would have been like, you killed Naruto. Hinata definitely probably would have went after Sasuke. That's just on that. She definitely would have went after Sasuke, and then it probably would have led up to maybe Hinata versus Sakura, and that would have been interesting, because it's like how when Masashi made Sakura, it was like, okay, even when you seen her like in the anime, it's like people was getting upset because it's like, you know, everybody wanted Sakura and Naruto, but since she was somewhat madly in love with Sasuke, she was willing to do anything. So I feel that she probably would have stayed in the village too, but she probably would have just left because she couldn't like deal with it anymore. She probably would have been like, he left me once and I don't want to see him leave me again. She probably would have just went with Sasuke just because. And they would have probably would have had Sadara. They probably still would have had Sadara, but it would have been kind of interesting because they would have always would have been on the move. Always would have been on the move and whatnot. But it's not that because everybody would have wanted him dead. It would have just been like a few people from the Leaf Village probably would have wanted him dead because you killed Naruto. And Sasuke probably would have took the Nine-Tailed Fox. Like, he would have killed him and probably took the Nine-Tailed Fox and then had all the tail beasts just sealed up. He probably would have just had them like all in that sort of meteor ball type thing, and they wouldn't have just been going anywhere. Only he would have had access to that type of power. So he would have took the Nine Tails from Naruto, put it inside of him, and then probably literally forced the Nine Tails into submission by using his Sharingan or whatever. Almost on that Madara type tip. Almost on that Madara type tip, because he basically would have been the anti-hero of Naruto, but he just would have been working in the shadows, where it's like, you know, anybody who, like I said before, like anybody who did any wrong or committed a sin or a crime or whatever, Sasuke would be there and he would obviously would handle the problem. And for the great nations, they probably would have maybe revolted against him, but I feel like it will probably be like some sort of revolt against it, because you have, again, like one of the most powerful ninjas up in that piece, and it's like, well, how are you going to stop him? And he has all control of all the bijus. Like, he has all control of the tail beast. So it's like, how would you stop him? And if he can literally fuse it with his Susanoo, he would have fused it with a Susanoo, giving him even more power. So again, like, who would have tried to stop him? So I felt like he probably would have done the Madara plan. Probably would have tried to done the Madara plan, except with no infinite Tsukiyomis or anything, but just probably would have done it a little more darker. Where people, I'm telling you, I think a lot of people probably would have gotten killed because nobody would have agreed to his ideas and his laws. So they'd be like, we feel subjected and we feel that we're enslaved and we're not really at peace here, because it's like, we have the freedom, we just won a war, and now we're kind of like enslaved because we have like a very powerful uchiha who's basically Big Brother and is looking over the world and making sure nobody does any sin or else. So, I feel that it probably would have went down that way, but I felt that a lot of people probably would have revolted against it, or Sasuke would have just been a complete ghost. He just would have been a complete ghost. Like, he killed Naruto and just vanished. He just would have vanished, disappeared and whatnot, and only a few people probably would have been able to track him, like obviously like Orochimaru, because Orochimaru, he's all over the goddamn place. So obviously like Orochimaru, but yeah, like he would have just been like he would have worked in the shadows. He would have been a complete ghost. So it's like, anybody would be like, yo, we haven't heard or seen from Sasuke for like, I don't know, 20 years, 10 years, or whatever, but in secret, he would have been working in the shadows, trying to, like, take down other people, and almost as if a shadow government. Like, Sasuke would have been the shadow government throughout the entire nations of the land, where he would have been like, okay, I'm just gonna monitor and see if nobody ain't doing this, nobody ain't committing no war over here. He would have just made it like, he would have made it like in peace, but within fear. How you have Raoul, like how you have like Fist of the North Star, how you have Kenshiro as their pure-hearted savior, and you have Raoul, who was also a savior, but he did it through fear and through control. And this is how, when you look at Naruto and Sasuke, you see Naruto as like somewhat of a Kenshiro, and then you see Sasuke as a somewhat of a Raul, but it's just somewhat different because it's like both sides are trying to like bring the world into peace, but one's going to do it through love and one's going to do it through fear and control. So it would have been interesting to see how Sasuke would have actually tried to have bring the world together, but again, I felt like he would have done it through fear. So anybody or anyone who would have acted against him or whatever would have died. Like, they would have died. And he said it himself that he would make people listen to his ideas. They would listen to his ideas, but then they would be in fear of him, because it's like, well, you in control of the bee juice, you in control of the tail beast. So how, if we don't listen to you, you might obliterate us on the spot. And who knows, Sasuke probably would have done that, or he probably wouldn't have. But, you know, Sasuke probably would have done something though. But, yeah, I'm going to end the video right here. So, if you like what you heard, and you heard what you like, please subscribe, share, do all of that wonderful stuff, and I'll catch you later.